You for summer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're over in Greenpoint, which is right next door to Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and they have a lot of cute plant shops here. We're going to see Tend Greenpoint today, which is actually closed for inventory, but they said that we could come by, so that'll be fun. Hey there.
Hello, how you doing?
Thank you so much.
Of course, I'm Jamin, by the way.
Jamin, nice to meet you.
Joe will be right up.
Okay, perfect. Tend is like, I wish it were actually closer to me because I'd probably be here all the time. It's such a cute little setup. You can see it's like very long and thin, but look at the details. The artwork on the wall and everything, it has just a really nice vibe. And it's stocked with plants. So let's just see what they have. They have this Ficus elastica. Right now it is just sunbathing here. And you can see that they have a Hoya pubicalyx and some Ceropegia woodii, string of hearts, and some Hoya carnosas right here. This is the tricolor version. And here is the rat tail cactus and Peperomia argyria right there. Some of the cool things that I think that really set Tend apart is that they have a lot of ceramics, and a lot of them are done by local ceramicists. I think things like this, I mean, that is just so beautiful. It looks like it could become a planter afterwards. I mean, look, it has this little place that it holds into. So beautiful. And look at this. This is like up your alley, Sonder. Yeah, I like that.
All of it is really cool.
I know. The shapes, yeah. I mean, this just reminds me of like a golden sunset or like mountain. I think I actually have a piece by this artist, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head. Even this color palette, look. This turquoise. That is just so stunning. Oh my goodness. So gorgeous. Sometimes I, come in for the plants, but I walk out with the ceramics instead. You got some Maranta up here. And then the Peperomia polybatria. Norfolk pine. Now, this is not a cold hardy pine. You are going to want to cold hardy tree. It's not. It's not even in the pine family. This I think is hard to grow indoors over a longer period of time, unless you have a lot of light and you don't want it to get too frigid. This is a plant that actually grows in warmer climates. Let's see what else they have. A large strelitzia. So if you're going for a large plant in your house, there's a number that you could choose from. Not as many as you think we have, but strelitzia is one of them. Then Ficus lyrata, of course, your fiddle leaf fig, and the Schefflera actinophylla. This one's a little bit more of a shrubbier version, but this does get to be a large tree. This is amazing. So this is a Syndapsis pictus. But as you can see, this is a dark green colored one. So this one barely has any silver flecking whatsoever. I love this plant. It's a much slower grower, believe it or not, compared to the ones with the flecking. But that is a nice one. And sometimes you have to look up in these stores because some of the nice plants are actually really high up, sometimes out of reach. Here is a Philodendron brantianum. So these are quite large already. These leaves will get larger than the size of your palm if you let it grow up. But oftentimes it's sold as like a hanging basket plant, as you see it here. This is pretty cool. This is a type of cultivar of Alocasia, Maharani. It's got really thick shield-shaped leaves, silver underbelly. They also have ones like, I think it's called silver dragon or green dragon. I haven't really seen them in the US market, but very similar, except they have a little bit more of a silver color and much more silvery underneath. I don't know how this holds up in the house. I've never actually raised one, so if someone has one, tell me in the comments below. And some of these large leaf marantas. I've been seeing more of these. Some of them have really, really much larger leaves. Maybe a 1.5 size larger than this, which is nice. So you can see that these are growing in very, very little soil, but very nice plant. And of course you have the red versions underneath. Same species. I've been seeing a lot of these. These are the string of turtles, they're called. Peperomia prostrata. Great hanging basket plant. Very easy to propagate. Highly recommend this peperomia. Very unusual one, but fairly easy to manage because it has that thick succulency. Some Curio. These are the very slow growing and could be a stickler. Some people have trouble raising this, overwatering it, underwatering, giving it too much sun, a little less sun. This is a variegated version, so a lot of people are looking for this, but I never see variegated string of beads in a large quantity. They're always like small, like this. I wonder how much these go for. Look at that. $25. You know, usually you get a plant that's a little bit larger. Like this will probably be even cheaper, 15. But it's just that this one is highly coveted. So I just want to do a little comparison here. This is the Curio. This is also Curio, but you notice it's variegated. $25, $8. What? What people will pay for the variegated version of something?
Both variegated is less, like it won't do as well as the.
Well, you can already see. Look at
chlorophyll.
Look, the balls of this, the beads, the little leaflets, are much larger, right, than this. This will have a hard time. It's going to take a little while to actually grow. But these you can see are much meatier than those. So. Yeah, it's, you know, and here, Ceropegia woodii, this is also, you know, a variegated version with little pink. And again, boom, $25 for just a little cutting. Underneath this mask, my jaw is wide open. These are probably even more, right? $36.50. Oh my God. Ah, my pass out. It's not because I can't breathe under my mask. This is a Puntia monacantha. This is fun. I think people usually call this the bullwinkle cactus. I'm going to probably give up on some of my cacti that are like this. Ooh, I just pricked myself off one of the glockids. But seeing that, like, I have no more window space in my southwest facing windows, I got to, you know, put on the brakes with some of my cacti and succulents. But I love Tend Greenpoint's, just like, I mean, look, when you come into a plant shop, you kind of want to feel like it's your house. You know what I mean? And I really get that feeling here at Tend. I mean, you have all these garden books in a plethora of rainbow colors, which is really nice. Rainbow colored planters, you have like your bulbs, you have your watering can. I mean, it feels homey, and I really like that. So they do a really good job. They really do a good job curating. Monstera, everyone has to have one. It's just starting to get like the fenestrations right now. So here's some of the ZZ plants, some of the new growth coming in, lime green. It looks like one of the more compact ZZs. Schlumbergera, all about to bud. You see the little buds forming right here. And these have, usually there's a Schlumbergera truncata, Schlumbergera burgessii, but there's been so much hybridization between the Schlumbergeras that it's very hard to kind of backtrack and know what it is. Ficus pumila, this is the oak leaf version. Actually, it looks more like a maple leaf to me. But these are great. I have this growing in my biopod in my terrarium. I find them to be very difficult to grow just out in the open. I find that they're much better in a terrarium setting.
This looks like you're discovering the price difference.
Between a variegated and a non-variegated version? Yeah, although that horse looks a little happier. So cute, look at this sink. Damn, this is the kind of sink that I would like in a greenhouse, huh? Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And you can see Joe's working outside, so they're doing inventory today.
What does that mean?
So they're just mapping out like what plants they have, what planters they have, and what SKUs they have, and what they might have to order for the following week. So maybe they take a day off every month. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're just doing counting numbers today, counting numbers and counting green. Yeah, it's a very nice selection that they have here. And like I said, just what cute and quaint. It's not a huge space, but they tend to pack in a lot of good stuff. And like I said, the planters are like second to none. I mean, look at this one. So beautiful. Doesn't have oh, it does have a hole in the bottom. I just didn't see that. So gorgeous. I don't need more planters though, unfortunately. So I have to be very, very edited. That's great. Joe, I think this is really wonderful. Thank you so much for letting us, thank you so much for letting us tour your shop on a day off.
Yeah.
Technically not a day off because you're doing inventory.
It feels like a day off.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it. Okay.
Stay tuned for more plant shop tours around Brooklyn in the next episodes. And we've recently launched a new YouTube channel on our homestead in upstate New York over at Flock Finger Lakes. So if you haven't yet, go check it out. Channel link is here and in the description below.